women. When I meet a lot of women and I'm like, dang, she look good. A lot of them do be Pisces. Even though I typically don't get along with a lot of Pisces, I have to admit it's a lot of attractive Pisces. Like the video I just did, Jessica Biel is a Pisces who's super attractive. Anna is a Pisces. Yeah, definitely Eva Mendes. From the I think what was she in training? Well, Eva Mendes was in a lot of movies, but yeah, she definitely gorgeous. Who else am I missing? Carrie Underwood is straight. Eva Longoria. Oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt, one of my old school crushes, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Jessica Biel, two of the finest white women that there is. Janae Aiko, Big Sean. I don't think they married, but Big Sean girlfriend, baby mama. Um, K Michelle. The surgery then messed her up a little bit. She looked like a totally different. Like I said, definitely Jennifer Love Hewitt in her prime, Jessica Biel, Rihanna. Them three of the sexiest women of all time. Like I said, Janae Aiko. Who else? Oh, Cash Doll is a Pisces also. So there's a lot of attractive Pisces women. The thing that I notice about Pisces women is that a lot of them will get surgery. Like I notice a lot of Pisces women, you will find them like they the ones that they'll make themselves look good. They'll get a BBL, because I actually dated a Pisces girl who wanted a BBL. I dated another one who did have a BBL. So, like Pisces could go a little bit overboard when it comes to plastic surgery. Pisces is the ones who gon' do stuff that make themselves attractive, and they care a lot about beauty, and that's what you're gonna. So I'm back. So we in Pisces season. So shout out to all of the Pisces out there. It's y'all season. So I wanted to talk about my experiences with Pisces because that's what I've been doing for each zodiac sign as we go through the season. So um Pisces, y'all gonna be mad, but at the same time, I haven't dealt with a lot of Pisces. It's not one of the signs I dealt with the most. My trying to think of the Pisces in my life or the Pisces I interacted with. So my stepdad was a Pisces. His birthday was February 27th. And then I dated two Pisces girls. I dated one, we went on a date, I'll just say that. And then the other one, I was dating for a while. She was kind of staying with me. So them really my only three experiences with Pisces. I did have a Pisces friend growing up, but he wasn't one of my close friends. He was like he was just a part of our group. He was cool or whatever, but I was young, so I can't really remember my experiences with him in the way that he act like that. So but talking about the experiences that I did have with Pisces. So first my stepdad, of course, because he was with my mom for 17 years. They was married for 7 years. Yeah, they was together for 10 years and then they was married for 7 years. And he basically was there since I was one going on 2 years old. So he was basically there my entire life, basically raised me. I always say that he did. I always gave him credit and always told him that he did more for me than my own dad did. Even though I know who my dad is, I saw my dad. Financially, my dad didn't do anything for me. My stepdad was more so the one doing stuff from paying the bills in the household to Christmas and my birthday and getting me stuff. So he was always there and he always looked out for me for sure. So to me, he was a great stepdad. He was a provider. He was in the military because he did have a hard life. He was homeless at 15. So he joined the military to get out of being homeless. Then after the military, when he met my mom, he was just coming home from the military. I think it was the Gulf War, and he was in the process of getting a job, but then he eventually got a job at the post office because a lot of people who from the military ended up getting a job at the post office or a federal job. It's kind of easier you being in the military. So he worked at the post office up until he died. He died in 2021, had a heart attack at 53 years old because he wasn't fully taking care of himself, which I'm about to get into when we're talking about Pisces. because it's a Pisces trait that he ended up showing. So, like I said, he was, a great, a great man. He great provider. Um, but he was a workaholic a lot. So we really didn't go nowhere. We didn't travel a lot. I only remember us going to Atlanta once when I was 10 years old. Besides that, he was like the typical, he would just sleep, go to work, sleep, go to work. That's literally all I can remember throughout my childhood about him. And then he'd get like a week vacation. Once a year he'd get a week vacation where he'd be home. But besides that, he would just be working, sleeping. And so getting into the how this relates to the Pisces of the Pisces trait, because he was actually a Pisces with the Libra moon, because my mom is actually a Libra. So, Pisces and Libra don't typically match up, even though they can, because they're two romantic signs. But he had a Libra moon, and then my mom got a Taurus moon. So there you go of how they was compatible. But he did he used to sleep a lot. And this is a thing that they say about Pisces that was crazy. Even the zodiac signs can tell stuff about this. Is Pisces is people who like to sleep a lot because they like to daydream. That's what Pisces is associated with, liking to daydream, liking to sleep, liking to escape reality. Then one of the biggest ways to escape reality is to be sleeper, to go to sleep. And he would sleep, if he wasn't at work, if he was at home, 9 times out of 10, he would sleep. So that was one Pisces trait. Another Pisces trait is that they say that Pisces is a self-indulgent sign, which he was, which ultimately led him to having a heart attack because he wasn't because this is the thing of how I go with marriage. Because my mom would cook all the time because he would work and he didn't have time to cook a lot. Even though he was a chef, because in the military he wasn't actually in the military fighting. He was actually a chef in the military. He was the one cooking for the workers. So he was a chef also and knew how to cook. But so he would barbecue on his days off. He would cook here and there. But with him always working, he barely got to cook, so my mom would cook most of the time. But when him and my mom divorced, which I'm gonna get into the last thing about him and about that relates to Pisces, but when they divorced, of course, with him still working like that, he didn't have time to cook, so he would eat out a lot. Even though when we were younger, he would always get us fast food at McDonald's. He always was a person who ate out a lot, but my mom liked to cook a lot too. So he didn't eat out as much, but after the divorce, he would eat out all the time. He would eat Big Macs, quarter pounder with cheese, large fry from McDonald's. So, and then he was self-indulged, like a lot of Pisces, like they say, self-indulged in drugs, liquor, like it's an indulgent sign, meaning that they, in other words, the addictive sign. Pisces is an addictive sign to where they can get addicted to stuff easily, and that's what he ended to do. Now he wasn't real bad like an addict, but he drunk from time to time, smoked, and then like I said, food might have been his main thing that he liked to indulge in because he always he ate a lot, and then a lot of times it was unhealthy. Then I can only imagine after him and my mom got a divorce. So, and the reason they got a divorce, the last thing about Pisces is that a lot of Pisces are known for being cheaters. They one of the top cheating signs. They not probably Gemini might be number one. I throw Aries and maybe Scorpio, but they might not be number one, but they're in the top five of cheating signs. They just are. And I really say with water signs, all can be cheating signs because why do they cheat? Because they're emotional. Pisces are known for being sensitive too, which my mom used to always tell me that my stepdad was sensitive. Like when somebody would say something about him, he'd be ready to fight. There's like a lot of Pisces, like Shaq, Charles Barkley, like they'll fight you, like they not no bitches, and that's what how my stepdad was. And I thought it was just because he was in the military. It might have been that too, but he wasn't scary. Like I seen it firsthand. Like, and when I come to know about a lot of Pisces are not scary people like you think they will. Like they like to avoid confrontation. They could be nice, but just like any water sign, if they get in their feelings, just like a Scorpio or a Cancer, they'll hurt you. So he was definitely like that for sure. But like I said about Pisces being cheaters, is that they want to cheat signs because they're emotional. Then when I got into astrology, right around, well, I was already into astrology, but I was deep diving deeper into it. And of course, I started looking up Pisces and looking up his chart. This, when he died, and I went to his funeral. And one of the main things they say about Pisces is, your symbol is two fish swimming in the opposite direction. So that's why a lot of Pisces, and they went to go show with him, is that a lot of Pisces can be in a relationship but dream about being single, or they could be single and want to be in a relationship. Because, like I said, Pisces is always fighting the inner demon. It's always them battling, the two fish, like they always going in opposite directions. And I forgot what they said, like one is reality, one is the spiritual world, or something like that. But they always in the conflict of doing the right and the wrong thing. It could be is also one of the conflicts that they can be in. So I can see that with him is that he wanted to be married, have the family and all of that, but then he also wanted to be single because after a long period of time, just like a lot of people, when you with somebody for so long, you get bored, you get tired, problems start to go on, and you want to seek other things. So because it wasn't a situation where he was trying to leave the relationship, he told the woman, from what my mom told me, that, this is just basically a booty call. I'm not leaving my wife. But my mom ended up finding out, being an investigator. She a Libra, she's smart. So ended up figuring it out and ended up leaving. But, and I could see that that's what he battled with, because once they got a divorce, he just chose to be single. He never got into another relationship. He never got married. He was like, I'm just going to be single until I die. So that's something else to think about. So that's how it related to some of the Pisces trait that I seen with him that was true about, like they say about Pisces, is that they can be sensitive, can sleep a lot, can be self-indulgent, can be cheaters. I've seen all of that with him. Now getting into the real quick, the two Pisces women that I dated that I noticed is that the first one, like I said, it really was just a date. Like we went out maybe twice or whatever, and everything was cool. But then I got to see from her how sensitive a Pisces can be, because I like to joke around, I like to kid around. That's just how I am. I'm a comedian. So I would, I forgot what I said because this was so many years ago, but I said something and she took it so seriously, and like she just didn't want to talk no more after that. I forgot what the joke was, or it was something, and she was like really in her feelings, and I couldn't believe, because like I'm used to joking with girls that I talk to. No other girl, it was a joke that I would tell to any other girl, and it would never be a problem. But for her, it ended up being a problem. So I got to see firsthand like really how sensitive Pisces is. Like they can't take criticism. You see that from Shaq, who's a Pisces. Like they can't take criticism. That, and Cancers is like that too. Scorpios can be like that. Water sign, they emotional. So of course you're gonna be sensitive in your feelings when somebody say something that you don't like. So that's kind of how we just like everything was going good at first. Because she was somebody I was trying to talk to for a long time, because she worked at this dollar store, and when I lived around the corner with my friend and his girl, I would, of course, we go to the doctor and I would see her, and of course, she looked good. Because that's another thing I'm gonna get to about Pisces. Pisces is one of the best looking signs on the positive note. I'm not gonna give you all of the negative. I'm gonna tell you some of the positive, but she didn't want to talk to me. The first time I tried to talk to her, like I asked her out, and she hesitated at first, and then I'm like, we just sitting there in silence, like she literally thinking in her head if she should, if she should say yes or no or not. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm trying to speed up. And she was like, I guess she ultimately decided no. So I'm like, okay, but years later, like 2, 3 years later, I ended up going to the store again. And then I ended up trying to talk to her again. And it ended up working, because I said something funny that I guess she actually thought was funny, because she wasn't about to give me her number again, but then I said something funny, and then she ended up giving me her number, and we, it was good from there up until, like I said whatever I said before. And then was sad about it, me and her. This was probably, we went out twice, so this was gonna be our third, no, this is gonna be our second date, because we still went out. Even after this, I still went out with her, because I just didn't believe that she was really that mad and sensitive about it. I'm thinking that she was gonna get over it, because she still cared enough to see me and go out, but she was still the whole time we was together telling me, "Oh, I'm not over it. Just because you take me out don't mean that I'm over it." And then I'm like, I'm here, I'm spending my money. And I'm one of the people, I get over stuff quick, and I hate when people hold grudges and hold on to stuff. That's just how I am. So I'm like, all right, forget it. You can stay mad yourself. I'm out of here. So, but she was supposed to come over, and I forgot exactly what. All I remember is I was at the gym, and she was talking to me on the phone, and I said something, and she got mad. So that kind of just went its own way. Then the Pisces that I actually did end up talking to and dating, and she was basically staying with me for a minute. Um, reason why we start talking, and the main thing I got from her is that, like I said, she to me, she probably is the biggest. She got to be the biggest. Like just we wasn't even in an official relationship, so I wouldn't even call it cheating. But it's still the simple fact that if you stand with somebody, and you out of respect for them, you shouldn't be out doing shit. Like if you messing with somebody, especially if y'all sleeping together raw and you stand with this person, you should at least have enough respect not to be out here doing stuff. For one. Then for two, normal people, when I would confront her, she just couldn't tell the truth. She would just lie. I would have proof. Um, Getting into the story time. I'll be trying not to make these stories long, but I even had her record because I got cameras in my house. She knew that I had cameras in my house. She still chose to. Well, what she thought that she thought that she could go to another part of the house, like far away from where the cameras at. Because I don't have cameras in every single room, just like in my living room and I think really only in my living room. At the time, I only had it in my living room. Let's say that. So she like calls her going to the kitchen and talk, but on my camera, I can still hear her all the way from the kitchen. I couldn't make out exactly what was being said because she was far away, but I got enough to know that she was talking to somebody and trying to go see somebody. So I confront her about it. Of course, she won't tell the truth. Of course, keep on lying because my whole point is that she was trying to get me to be committed and faithful. And oh, if you talking to somebody that's messed up and I'm gonna have an attitude and be mad. But the whole time you talking to somebody, and I'm trying to like, we can just be in an open relationship. You can't stay with me. You feel me? You got to get out. But we could still kick it like because we not in a relationship, but you're not gonna sit up here and be talking to other people and then tell me I can't talk to other people and I'm the man. And that's why I would tell like I'm the man. If anything, I'm gonna be telling you that. Like, what are you talking about? So she would just lie. Then it came out like it just one time I seen the text messages on her phone. And this should have been a red flag early when I should have started talking to her. But she looked good. Like I said, Pisces women, I'll get to you. A lot of y'all do be looking good. And we'll get into that last. But dude text her phone talking about you cheated on me. Don't ever hit me up again. Fuck you. Like that was the text message. Like, you look on your phone and the text messages come up in the notification. So I'm looking, and of course I can get into her phone, but I'm like, why would he send her that? But of course, I'm smart, I put two together. So obviously this was an ex. She must have hit him up or something, and that was his response to her hitting him up. Like, because the text literally read, you cheated on me, fuck you, don't hit me up. Basically is what it says. So she tried to talk to one of her exes, and he said that you cheated on me. And then from me seeing her stuff that she would be doing, like a straight hoe, straight 304, sad to say. But that's what I was getting to also about the whole Pisces being one of the most cheating signs and big cheaters. Like Shaq said, he was a big cheater. Trying to think of some more Pisces. I know Rihanna is a Pisces. She done had her fair share of relationships, but it's not crazy, or I don't know if she was out there cheating. Um, Trying to think, it's so I can't even think of no Pisces right now off the top of my head, which I should. 'Cause I'm trying to think of females more so because I can think of a lot of males. 'Cause I know Floyd Mayweather is a Pisces. Um, and we know how Floyd is. Trying to think of some more Pisces too. I just can't think off the top of my head. But like I said, Pisces is one of the top cheating signs. And like I said, that's in big part because they can live in la la land and also I read a lot of Pisces don't know how to set boundaries. That's a lot of Pisces problem is that a lot of Pisces don't know how to set boundaries and And then a lot of Pisces, like they say too, can be easily manipulated. Because that's what I know about the two Pisces I dated that I was just telling y'all about. Because I asked about people exes in their past relationships. Because that I asked for a lot of different reasons that I asked, but it's all the reasons is important. So both of them had their troubles in their shared relationships and dealing with the wrong people, and again, basically kind of taken advantage of and manipulated. And that's what they say too, that a lot of Pisces are easily manipulated because I'm just telling you how astrology go. Pisces, every sign got its negatives and positives. I already talked about some of the positives. Um, or I'll rehash them for y'all in a minute because I'm not trying to just talk about the negatives. I'm just giving my experiences. And in my experience, haven't been the best with Pisces, but I'm a Aquarius with the Aries moon. I don't have no Pisces in my chart. I barely got any water in my chart. The only water I got in my chart is Scorpio. So, it's meant like astrology say for me not to click and get along with Pisces, for them not to be one of my, signs that I get along with the best or interact with the most. So this is just from my point of view of what I observe. So keep that in mind also. But like I was saying, like a lot of Pisces can be easily manipulated because or taken advantage of because Pisces, for one, like they say, Pisces are one of the most compassionate signs and one of the most like empathetic signs also on a positive note. So a lot of Pisces can try to see the good in people and get taken advantage of and used. And if you're a Pisces, you probably know firsthand that that's on a positive note of one of the main reasons that Pisces get taken advantage of because they try to see the good in people. But then Pisces too, sorry, Pisces, just astrology, like Pisces just like not known for being one of the smartest signs. Cause they more so emotional. Cause when you think of smarts, you think of logic and you think of like logic and gets tied to intelligence and smartness 9 times out of 10, where emotional get tied into, it's the opposite of that. But then there is something called emotional intelligence also, which of course Pisces and all water signs have. But when it comes to like logical, like intellect intelligence, Pisces usually do come on the lower end of that list, versus like air signs and stuff like that. And then when you think about some Pisces like Shaq or Floyd Mayweather, Krishan Rock, that's who I forgot. There's another Pisces, another perfect example. Krishan Rock, if y'all know who that is from all the reality TV shows and with Blueface, she's a Pisces. And then I think Cash Doll is a Pisces too. So like well, you can see with a lot of Pisces is that, especially like, Floyd and Shaq, like they don't get associated with being like smart, like the smartest intellectual people. Even though not all, of course, because I think Albert Einstein or somebody like that, one of the smartest people of all time was a Pisces. I think it was Albert Einstein. So it's not like, okay, just because you're a Pisces that you dumb. Like, no, we just speaking in general because typically Pisces tend to be lean more toward the emotions and the physical when it comes to things. So like perfect example, like I said, like with Floyd and Shaq, Charles Barkley. So but a lot of Pisces, so like I said, that's on the negative side of the Pisces from my experience that I've seen firsthand. Like they can be cheaters, can be self-indulged, a self-indulgent sign to whether they could be addicted to gambling or sex. Like the Pisces who I dated was the big cheater. She was addicted to sex. Like she would use sex toys. She would want to have sex all the time. Like she would definitely a sex addict, which is good for a man. Like in a lot of Pisces women, especially if they look good, that's, on the good side, but then it can also lead to, of course, infidelity. What else about what I say? Self-indulgent, can be cheaters, sensitive, like I said. So you got to watch what you say to them. Can be violent. A lot of Pisces, like my stepdad, did do some violent stuff. The Pisces girl who I was dating, who was staying with me, she a couple months before I got with her, she basically busted her ex car windows out because she called his phone and the girl answered the phone. So she went over there and busted his windows out because she was drunk. Like, and a lot of Pisces, like you see how Shaq is, a lot of Pisces will fight you. Like the me Christian Rock is a perfect example. And Cash Doll be talking about we're just talking about fighting somebody. And I forgot like a Pisces will fight you for sure because they are emotional. So like that's the four negatives, and then the four positives, and I'm gonna end it with the positive about Pisces is that a lot of Pisces are hard workers. Like Pisces can be lazy because they like to sleep and daydream a lot, but Pisces do, and that's one of the things I miss too. A lot of Pisces are materialistic, just like Taurus. That's why a lot of Pisces and Taurus can go together, or Pisces and Scorpios, because a lot of Pisces are they want the finer things in life. A lot of Pisces do care about money, like looking nice, like being flashy. So that's something else that I missed about Pisces. A lot of Pisces can be a sign about money, but then that can lead them just like Taurus, even though because Taurus get associated with being lazy, just like Pisces, but they like material things and care about money so much that they, will work hard to get what they want. They just might be like my stepdad to where when they not working, they being lazy. So it's either they work, like, they not gonna be like most people who work still go out and do stuff and, always active. It'll be like a on and off with what I noticed from Taurus and Pisces is that when it's time to work, they'll work a lot, but then when they not working, they'll be asleep or they'll be in the house chilling for the most part. Um, what else? So they can be hard workers. They definitely empathetic. A lot of Pisces are caring people. They'll be there for you, like for their friends and family. If you need somebody, they'll be there and they'll help you with emotional support. What else about Pisces? A lot of Pisces are talented because, like I said, Pisces are ruled by Neptune, which rule RC things. So a lot of Pisces can draw real good. There's a lot of Pisces who are musicians who make music, who good at music. A lot of Pisces actors. Oh, and then, like I said, lastly, a lot of Pisces are beautiful people. Speaking for the women, because I can't speak for the men, but a lot of Pisces they was in my top five most beautiful signs. I think I'm gonna put it at the end or put that video at the end, one or the other, to end this off. But a lot of Pisces are good looking. Like a lot of Pisces women, even though I don't get along with them, like because we just so different. Because I'm not an emotional person, so I can't feel their emotional needs, and they can feel like I'm too logical. But when it comes to attraction, definitely. Pisces are one of the best looking signs for sure. At least the women is. So that's another positive trait about them. They look good, they empathetic, they can be hard workers. And then what else did I say? There's something else I said. Y'all can rewind the video. I'm missing something, but that's the positives. So I gave y'all the positive and the negatives in my experiences with Pisces. I'm out.